Hi, my name is Alice Kim, and you are now watching a mini documentary about the analysis of the conflict between North Korea and USA, and what solutions the UN made in order to resolve this conflict. From this, you will understand more about why the nuclear crisis is happening and UN's particular role in this global crisis. Currently, the conflict between the USA and North Korea is one of the major global issues that is happening right now. But do you know exactly how the conflict between these two countries happened? Or why there even is a global conflict? Well, this video will definitely give you the answers. When I first teach you the start of this conflict. According to marketedbyteachers.com, after World War II, USA and the Soviet Union split Korea into two, which caused a divide in the country and another divide in the ideals. USA was exhorting capitalism and democracy to South Korea, and for the Soviet Union, on the other hand, was looking for a way to globalize communism, so they recommended it to North Korea. Later on, in June 25, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea to try to form a stable, united Korea as it was united before the end of World War II. South Korea has requested for help to the UN. Soon, from 1950 to 1953, the UN acted decisively on defending South Korea and has sent troops from 19 countries including Canada, Japan, China, Australia, and etc. Currently, even though it has been over almost 15 years since the Korean War has ended, the relationship between the USA and North Korea has not recovered, as you can see how Donald Trump tweeted about Kim Jong-un and has implied that he is a madman. Though South Korea is actually trying to recover their relationship with North Korea, which you can notice by how, according to MediaPen.com, President Moon tries to let North Korea be able to enter the Pyeongchang Olympic because President Moon believes this would be a great chance to recover their relationship and establish a new era in the peace settlement on the Korean peninsula. Do you think when the UN sent troops to defend South Korea, was the UN successful? For me, I believe when they were defending South Korea, they have done an excellent job. But the problem is what happened after. If the UN had a better way of preventing North Korea from making nuclear weapons and breaking the nuclear ban treaty, this global crisis would not have even happened. According to CNN, North Korea signed the nuclear ban treaty in 1985. But later on, in 2002, North Korea was found to be secretly operating a nuclear weapons program. Because the UN did not strongly restrict North Korea from making nuclear weapons, a global crisis like this is currently happening. So what is the UN doing to resolve this global crisis? According to the CNN, the Security Council unanimously adopted a US drafted resolution to impose new sanctions on North Korea in September. This resolution's major goals are to cap North Korea's oil imports, ban textile exports, end additional overseas labor contracts, suppress smuggling efforts, and etc. To this resolution, the chances of North Korea bombing the world might have decreased. However, the results of the effects it gave to the innocent North Koreans are just too unfortunate. According to Chosun, North Korean laborers who are working overseas have to go back to North Korea because of the sanction. For an example, out of 6,000 North Koreans who were working in Kuwait, 4,000 North Koreans were deported back to their home country. Even the 2,000 people left were soon replaced with workers from Nepal and Egypt. According to ABC, it says North Korea is banned from exporting textiles, its second biggest export after coal and other minerals in 2016, totaling $752 million. Nearly 80% went to China. This shows that it'll not take long for North Korea's economy to fall to the ground. If the economy does fall, not only Kim Jong-un but millions of North Koreans will suffer. Some people worry that this resolution might stimulate enough for Kim Jong-un to decide to nuke his enemies. Though what would really happen if he does nuke South Korea? According to The Atlantic, the bomb would inflict enormous devastation. Radioactivity from the nuclear weapon would last for decades, and at least millions of people would rather get injured or get killed. If North Korea does nuke South Korea, the effect would even go to countries around Korea such as Japan and China, or even Canada because of the current of the wind. Yet, I do not expect Kim Jong-un to nuke South Korea only because he was frustrated and stimulated by the sanction. The reason is, as I said before, the effect of the nuclear bomb will not only end in South Korea. The radiation will spread and spread, which will naturally give effects to North Korea too. Even though Kim Jong-un is a person with such a hot head, he probably does acknowledge the consequences of nuking South Korea. Instead of worrying about yourself getting nuked, I believe we should all determine on how the UN, the US, and North Korea will be doing to settle this global conflict. Fearing about getting nuked and threatening to nuke needs to stop. Do you think at the end of this situation, will the countries finally settle this conflict? Is the way how the current US president is handling North Korea really an appropriate way? I personally believe that Trump does have his own way of settling conflicts, which actually is quite aggressive than the past president's ways. For example, according to Axios, when Clinton was the president of the United States, he reached a controversial agreement, which is giving North Korea more than $4 billion for them to gradually dismantle the nuclear weapons program. Bush, he proposed of having a normalized relation between US and North Korea as long as they disclosed all nuclear programs and get rid of the nuclear weapons too. Obama, he warned North Korea that the US would not hesitate to use the military as a purpose to defend the US and its allies against North Korea. If you want to know more about this, here are some sources I recommend you go and check out. The writer is Zachary Cohan and Richard Roth from CNN. This was written on September 12, 2017. This source was made to let people acknowledge that a new sanction on North Korea has been made by the Security Council. In September, people were desperate for a way/sanction to weaken North Korea, which is why this section was a major issue to them. Unfortunately, this would only tell you what the sanction is about. It would not show you the impacts it gives to the North Koreans caused because of the sanction. Go check this one out too. The writer is unknown, and so was when it was written. But the purpose it was written is so that people would read this and fully understand the start of the conflict between Koreas and the US. This specifically talks about how the Korean War started after being liberated from Japan. This source would be useful to people who are interested in the Korean War. However, this does not specifically show you exactly why there was a divide in the country and the ideals. Other than that, this source is amazing, so go and check out. Thank you so much for watching my video.